Hey, what is up, witches? Today I'm back with a fun little video inspired by my fellow practitioner and kindred spirit, Prosperity Witch, Ellie. So thank you, Ellie, for inspiring me and tagging me in this video idea because if I'm being real, my practice definitely took a little bit of a back seat this last year, just with life getting in the way and my energies just being all over the place and on top of being at an all-time low. I mean, I made a whole video about it. So this video is all about my witchy ins and outs for 2026. And what do I mean by that? It's basically just the goals that I'm going to set for myself for the rest of 2026 in terms of what do I want to bring in to my practice or like keep and explore deeper versus what's out for me in 2026. What am I no longer going to be doing or trying to get away from? So thanks again, Ellie, and definitely go check out their channel. I'll leave a link in the description and a little tag up here to go check out their video on this topic. So definitely hop over to their channel and explore if you want to know more about what it's like being a modern day pagan practitioner and spell worker. What are my witchy ends for 2026? First off, I want to do way more tarot practice. I've been saying this for a while now, but definitely just dropped the ball in terms of not only just doing more readings for myself, but I really want to start doing more readings for others. I want to get to a place where I feel like I can confidently offer divination services to other people without needing to reference my guidebooks. I don't know why, maybe I'm being too hard on myself, so let me know if you've ever had a reading from someone that you paid for where they were referencing a guidebook while they did it, because to me, I'm just scared that it would come off like I'm inexperienced or don't know what I'm talking about. But with some things like oracle decks, they're all so different in what each card means that I don't know if my memorization skills would even be capable of such a feat. But yeah, let me know how you feel about that. Is it okay to look at books and resources if you're giving a reading in a professional setting? How would you feel if you were getting a reading and someone did that? Because it's one thing for me to do it like on my channel when I'm just doing collective readings, and I am trying to lean more into like the intuitive readings that I post on the channel, where I might look things up just for reference, but for the most part I'm just going off of whatever comes to me, and trying to get better at just basic Rider-Waite tarot without needing to look things up, because I've definitely been doing a lot of my own personal readings for like the past 15 to 20 years. But one thing that I've noticed is that when you're doing a reading for yourself, or at least when I get a lot of the same cards over and over. So there are some that I'm very familiar with and others that I don't personally see a lot in my own readings, and so I'm a little bit less familiar with those. So yeah, I just want to get more practice in, because if I'm being perfectly honest, there was a local shop near me that was looking for people to come in and give readings, and I really wanted to jump at that opportunity, but then the imposter syndrome and the self-doubt started creeping in, and I was like, no, what if I get something that I don't know and I can't think of what that card means, and I don't have, and like I said, I feel like it would be weird or unprofessional to have to look things up, so I can't rely on my guidebooks. I have to just be there and know it if I want to be a real, authentic witch and tarot reader. My goal is definitely just to be more consistent with doing tarot so that I can feel more confident and get to that level where one day I can offer professional readings. My other in for 2026 is just more spell work and more deity work. I feel like I've just been really ignoring my altar spaces, which in some cases it's like it's not a huge deal because Like, the gods don't want you for a fair weather friend and just like coming to them because you need stuff. But yeah, I haven't really been doing a lot of offerings or just spending a lot of time at my altars, which I really want to be better about, and just being more consistent with spell work in general. Practicing things more, trying things for the heck of it, and not necessarily because like some great necessity is driving me to it. Like, witchcraft is great for that, but yeah, I just want to be more consistent this year. And along those lines, my other in is just finishing projects and artwork. I mean, if I turned this camera around right now, you would see like a pile of art supplies and unfinished, half finished, or barely even started projects. So I just really want to spend less time on my phone and on the computer, because like playing video games and is definitely just like my go-to form of escapism. So I want to try channeling some of that back into creativity. And yeah, just finishing things that I've already got stuff for and already started, and just throwing myself into artwork and experimenting and playing around with that more, and not feeling like I need to be a perfectionist about it and have this like perfect outcome and be able to execute all these things in my brain perfectly. And it's hard for me to feel like, oh, if I'm just fucking around and it doesn't come out good, then I wasted all these supplies and all this time. But art isn't really about that. You don't necessarily need to worry about the results. It's just all about having fun and being able to just relax and be creative. For me, it's definitely, as like someone who's very ADD and finds it hard to sit still, being able to hyper focus on something like artwork is a form of meditation for me, because I'm able to block out all those extra thoughts that are constantly floating around inside my head and like just focus on one thing for a little bit, and like that for me can be very relaxing. The other thing that is going to be part of like my witchy in for this year, especially now that we're getting into the warmer months and I'm planning my garden for this year, is I really want to get more into herbalism and start my witchy garden. I have a lot of things and seeds and ideas for what I want to grow in it, so it's time to just really focus on that and finally get that set up and get it going so that I can replenish some of my stores of herbs and grow the kinds of things that I know that I want to use. And along with just being more consistent in my practice this year, my final in for 2026 is just getting back into reading and being more consistent with that. I've always been a big reader. I love reading, and I have still been reading a lot of things for fun over the winter. Right now, I'm in the middle of reading the Apothecary Diaries light novels for all of my anime fans out there. I did just finish Transportation, which I made a video about, and next I'm going to be trying to read Sideways and get into learning more about specific Seidr magic and Seidr practices. I really want to bring back pagan book reviews in 2026 and read more books on my pagan reading list, which is extensive at this point. Too long didn't read. To sum everything up, just more consistency. So what are my outs? First, at the top of my list for things I am kicking out in 2026 is self-doubt. No more self-doubt, held me back from grasping that opportunity to really be able to make money and feel like, and it's not even really about the money for me, it's just about being able to do something that I enjoy, like witchcraft, and have it be a viable, acceptable thing, and have it be like an active part of my life, and not necessarily a career or a job, but yeah, like be a professional witch like I've always dreamed. And making this channel was a big step in that direction for me. So I really want to be able to get rid of self-doubt, kick out that inner saboteur that's living rent-free in my mind, and just being able to trust more in my intuition and my abilities. Again, like, see number one above in the ins, like wanting to be in that place where I feel like I can confidently offer those services to other people. Second on my list of outs and things I'm going to try to get away from in 2026 is no more ADHD spells and rituals. I want to be able to get to a place where I'm not just running through a recipe where I'm like, okay, I have all my supplies or what I think I'm gonna need, and now I'm just gonna like throw everything together and we're done here and like moving on with my life and going on with my day. I want to actually take time to prepare and focus both on myself and the setting, to ground myself, create sacred space, set intention, make sure I'm prepared in terms of having everything I need, and that I'm in the right headspace, and that I'm actually setting intention into the workings before and during my spell work, rather than just, oh my gosh, like, yeah, hyperactive, can't focus, gotta just rush through this so I can get up to the next thing on my to-do list. Like, when I'm actually in it, sitting down to do a spell, sometimes I catch myself just rushing through things. So I want to take my time, be more thoughtful and mindful and focused when I do sit down to do spell work or give offerings. And last on my list of things that are out and I'm going to try to stay away from as I develop a more consistent practice and to try to avoid burnout, I want to get better. And this also, I think, goes with the previous one of not rushing through things and setting space and intention. I want to stop relying solely on my own energy to do all of these things. Especially, like, even a tarot reading can leave me feeling kind of drained and exhausted afterwards. Even if it's just one that I'm doing for myself for funsies, it is taking mental focus and energy to do things like that. And especially with like rituals, spell work, all of the above. Yeah, I just need to be better about grounding and calling on other energy sources, whether that be the earth, nature, deities, celestial bodies. I'll try to pull energy from the ground and like from the sun or the moon. Don't be afraid to call in and tap into other sources. I think that's part of being a witch, is learning to do that so that you're not just relying on and expending all of your own energy every time you do things. So don't feel like you have to do everything yourself, especially if you, like me, are someone who works with deities and incorporates deity work into your spell work and pagan practice. Don't be afraid to like call in the big guns and call on the deities that you work closely with to aid and assist you with your spells and your workings. So I definitely want to be better about that so that I'm not left lying like a puddle on the floor and burning myself out and don't have any energy to keep doing these things more consistently in the long run. There you have it. There are my witchy ins and outs for 2026. Thanks again to Prosperity Witch Ellie for tagging me up in this one and inspiring me to not only have something to make a video about, because I've been, a little bit more inconsistent and stagnated there as well the last couple months, but also inspiring me to really sit down and think about, what do I want my practice to look like this year, and what do I want to focus on, and what do I not want to focus on? So I hope this inspires you to do the same. Let me know your own thoughts, feelings, and opinions in the comments. And until next time, stay classy, pagans.